Okay. So, well, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks all for being here with session 3 of coalition bargaining for healthcare. Last session that we left off, the district had presented a proposal with 50-50 split. We have updated the slides. I sent an update yesterday on our claims for the month of May. Hopefully you've had a chance to review them. If not, though, they are in the presentation, and so we'll work through that and we'll get started there. Nancy Bolton is on the call, and I'll be turning it over to her now to walk through this.
Can you all hear me? Unfortunately, I'm having problems this morning. So good. I'm on the phone. My camera's not working, but you know what I look like. So here we go.
All right.
Okay. So just a recap of what we wanted to just cover this morning. Plan year 2024 and 2025 performance. As of May 31st, the claims dropped earlier this week. And just rate change options, just kind of recapping what we talked about to cover the projected funding deficit through a 50-50 split between the district and the employees, and district premium comparison, just to kind of recap that, and red line changes to coalition bargaining articles, which are very brief, just updating the numbers that we hope that we can come to with you all, and the dates, and then a final discussion. All right, so here are the May 31st claims. Just a reminder that these are claims only, just the raw claims data. So as you can see, May, unfortunately, did not, we had those months that were encouraging in February and March, but then April came in at 22.5 million, and May has come in now at 21.7 million. And just to respond to Gordon's chat that just popped up, we certainly will share this presentation with you all. And then just the red arrow points to the actuary's projection of just the raw claims net of rebates, what they expect we'll spend for plan year 2024. We're a little bit skewed here for the average monthly prescriptions plus rebates, and also, the average monthly claims, because we got a nice rebate check-in for the second quarter, but we don't have the benefit of the claims to balance out, those numbers. So, really the total average still shows an increase for the monthly claims amounts. So unfortunately, the plan is not doing better than, we projected it would, even though we hoped it would. Okay, so next slide, please. And then this, just updating this slide that you're familiar with. The yellow line represents the collective revenue of the board and the employees. And so we know we had talked about the 30 million and how things snowball on a plan our size. And so as of April, the actuary projected that we would need 52.5 million. That amount is going to fluctuate every month. The 52.5 had the benefit of those friendly months, February and March. As you'll recall, when we first started negotiating, that amount was 59, but nevertheless, this does not include the May amounts. I don't have the actuary's report yet, just the claims data from United. So this amount's going to fluctuate, but kind of the takeaway is that blue line represents the ending fund balance of the plan. So even if we increased, at that amount, we're still below the state required reserve. So next slide, please. So just to reiterate, here's the 52.5 again, but we are, it doesn't restore the state required reserve. So the necessary premium increase based on the current enrollment, which is over 20,000 again, is the $232 per month per employee, $116 per paycheck for 24 pay periods, just in the illustration. And we recommend a minimum what that generates is $55 million increase, split 50-50. So it's $116 per month per employee and $58 per paycheck. And that is pre-tax, but those are the cold hard numbers. So Tim, if you could advance. Just a recap of the funding models that we sketched for you. The recommendation is the $116 per month, which is, here is the employee contribution currently in plan year 2024, and that 116, you can just do the simple math there, what that would look like. And then of course, if that's reduced by the $50 monthly credit for health rewards, how that would look. And then I shared with you just kind of a adjustment to the actual cost, because one person costs the plan less than two people, and two adults cost more than an adult and a child. And so I had sketched that out. Those numbers have been further refined by our plan actuary, but we haven't heard back from you, so I haven't proposed any further rate adjustments that would charge more, for an employee plus a spouse. Instead of just implementing the 116 across the board, there would be some actuarial consideration. But this is what we shared with you in the last coalition bargaining session. So it's just those three, the current and the two, option one and option two summarized. And so just remember that the numbers are large, but they are pre-tax. So we're saying 116, but it actually would feel a little bit less than that in paychecks. So next slide, Tim. And then of course, just kind of reiterating the district comparison, which we've shared with you before. Most of the other districts are charging a lot for family coverage. That's where we remain, even with our proposed increases, the most competitive. So is that still kind of what you guys want to see? We need $55 million. We're very flexible on how we go about, getting there, and would love to hear your feedback as to where you're headed with your thoughts, as you know. So next slide, Tim. And so just, the general article updates, just updating the date, and the sections that reflect the board's monthly contributions would be updated once we've come to terms with a final funding model. Next slide. And so that's pretty much it. It's really just a recap. We're very interested to hear where you all are.
So with that, I know nobody likes to hear talk about increases and stuff like that. And, I think we've been pretty fair in trying to hold off increases for many years. It was 10 years before any increases came through. Looking back, you almost wish you increased by like $5 each of those years, so it wouldn't be such a hard hit at one time. But there just didn't seem like a need to increase back then, and we did. I hope we're hoping that though once we get through this hump, going forward, it's not quite as difficult, or the fund isn't in such bad shape. So I'll turn it over if anybody has any comments from the coalition, or if you could let us know if you'd like to go into caucus.
Yeah, could we get a breakout room?
Sure.
Unless anyone wants to say anything prior to. Okay.
All right.
Hey, folks. Okay, can you all hear me?
Nancy, your phone is still in the main call. You might have to hit a number. I'm not sure which number it is to like enter the room, but I did drag your phone number into the room. You should be able to enter.
Okay. Okay. So I'm still on the main call.
Yeah, your phone is, yeah.
All right. I'm going to hang up then, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Being the techie that I am, I don't know how else to do it. Thanks.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'll let them know that you're back.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Justin, I forwarded you that email.
Let us know when everybody from your side's back, Tim, and then we can offer a counter.
You're muted, Tim, if you're saying something.
Sorry. Yes, I think everybody's here.
Okay. So the coalition appreciates the information and the offer that the district's put on the table. At this time, our counter offer is to match the employee contribution increase from last year that I believe was $20 per month and $10 per pay period where healthcare costs are deducted. So that is our counter at this time.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you, I know that's not going to be enough. We're so far off. But let's jump in a room real quick, and we'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, folks. So we did talk it over, and this need for an increase is something we've been seeing, for quite a few years in the coming. And nobody likes to have an increase come through. Trust me, none of us want this. We know it's expensive to live here. It's expensive to live pretty much anywhere right now, and with costs of everything going up. But healthcare is part of those costs that have gone up significantly. And we do appreciate you coming back with the counter. But it really, with that, something like that, we'll just find ourselves in the situation every year going forward. The claims amounts are just so much higher than that. We're just not bringing enough money in order to cover it. So the counter that we do have is 53 per paycheck, which would be 106, I guess it is, 106 per month.
And just for clarification, that's the proposal for the employees. What is the district's increased contribution that would couple that?
Yeah, the district's planning to match 50-50. Whatever, just like we did last year, we matched that. But remember, last year's was on each side that was like 5 million, I believe. That's what led to, in last year when we were around this time, we were talking about a $30 million shortfall. And so by passing just that amount, now we see where we're at with that compounding, and then the additional increases in costs of healthcare. We're at 50, anywhere between 50 and 60 million this year. So the district would be matching that. So if it's 53 per paycheck, that's what the district would contribute in addition to what they already contribute.
Understood. So I know that based on our caucus meeting that the coalition determined that we would want to take time to develop a potential counter if the district came back today, like you just have. So for the sake of this meeting, we've kind of reached the point that we're willing to move forward today. And we look forward to scheduling a subsequent meeting. I know there had been some emails back and forth trying to iron out dates. I don't think anything was determined or agreed to beyond today. So there might need to be more dialogue on a future meeting date where consensus is established for all parties' availability.
Yeah, I get that. I don't necessarily agree with the August though, because I know in August we're all going to be talking about, and into the fall we're going to talk about our salary increases, and district does want to come out there and be able to offer meaningful increases to the employees. We know that's important. We fully intended to do that, but it's very difficult for us. It would be very difficult for me to be able to bring a proposal here to you today without knowing where we're at on this, because ultimately the cost that has to be covered in this plan has to come from that pot of money. So at least some of it. We all do know that some of it's allocated just for teacher salary increases. We're not talking about that 14 million or whatever it is, but we are talking about a pot of money that's set aside for raises, that if without understanding where we're going with this, it's going to be increasingly difficult to do that. So my hope is,
I don't mean to cut you off, but that you're in a unique position, the PBA, because we don't even know the base wage increases that we're going to get yet. So I can't really agree to such a substantial increase without knowing what my members are going to get in their base wages. So that's something that I'll have to talk about with my membership. The schedule we're on for that. I'm out of town the first 2 weeks of July, and then the second 2 weeks I have a lot of IAs and our hearing if we have to have a hearing. So I really am looking at the first week of August, and I can offer multiple dates on that. But I get you're trying to plan things, but I also need my wage numbers to be able to communicate with my members, because this I don't think will pass. And I also think that I want to do some records requests. So I'll try to get those in. I'm out of town tomorrow, and then I'm back all of next week if you want to reach out, and I'll probably try to do my records request Monday. And then with that information, I think that I'll be able to speak more with my membership. So I know the PBA is in a unique situation, but I just want to throw that out there because that's very important to we're still on last year. So
I understand that. Well, if we'll put out some, I know we put out some options if time frees up in July and you guys can, we have some better ideas of where we're at. The district would welcome the opportunity to continue negotiating. We do plan to work with you all on this.
I'm like July 29th and the 31st and the 1st and the 2nd, and then pretty much all through the first week of August 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th. So I can email you those dates.
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, Katie. All right, well, anybody else? Steven, did you have something? Yes, Steven.
My main thing at this point, just on a broader thing is, I couldn't even take this to my membership because they voted down the current district proposal. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think that's what we're here to bargain, negotiate, come to something where we can reach a tentative agreement.
Well, I understand that. I'm saying even if we agreed to it, the membership would vote it down, as it currently is.
Do you guys work with the group? Do you guys get stats and stuff through them?
On who?
Do you guys work with the group?
I'm not sure what you're saying. It seems like it's cutting out the what group?
The Garing group. Do you guys work with them? Do you get like market stats from them and feedback?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that. No.
Yeah.
No, we're a client of Gallagher Benefits.
Okay.
We're friends of the Garing group. We go to their seminars, and Kurt and I go way back. And he's always very generous in sharing info. So we look at Mercer surveys. We certainly stay up to date through those channels. But we're not a Garing client.
All I have is the plan year report for 2022. So I don't know if you guys have anything more on that, but if I can, I'm going to do a records request and I'll share it with you in an email too. Because just the more info, the better. And then also something I mentioned in our caucus is that I know certain contracts have caps on increases. So usually the highest I've like PBSO, they have a cap and it's 10%. So I think that's kind of where we were looking at with our counter two today. But those are just my thoughts. It's hard for me to, agree to anything without knowing where our wages are. So I'll do the records request early next week, and then I'll email you those dates today so that we can get at least 1 or 2 meetings on the books.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate your time here today.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.